photo is of ice climbing, mixed climbing in Coos County. It's one of the hardest climbs of its type in the state. Coos County has this wealth of outdoor potential that people haven't really tapped into yet.
My photo represents community. My husband and I came up to the area because of the environment, but we have stayed because of the community. We have a good group of friends who have like-minded interests in the outdoors, and also another community in our business, and that's why I don't believe we'll be leaving, and we just love everyone.
The first time I came up to Coos was to an event at St. Kieran's Arts Centre in Berlin, and I really came to love what that represents, and that's why I chose it for my photograph, because there are so many beautiful art and music events at St. Kieran's amidst the chaos of our world, and it really gives us a respite from the everyday world. I also chose it because it represents to me the spirit of Coos, the spirit of imagining what we can do with the future. And I'm aware, of course, that a lot of churches have been closed and boarded up. And what's great about this church is it's still being reimagined as a sacred space, representing the future of Coos and making it an active centre of imagination. I think that represents what the county, what the region can do to shape a better future for everybody here.
The picture I chose is about 4,400 feet on Lowe's Path on the side of Mount Adams, which is right at the Alpine Zone. What I value about that photo is the beauty of the Alpine Zone. A brilliant blue sky that is beautiful in the way that it only is when it's below zero, and this lacy tundra in the Alpine Zone, even if you're down in the valley looking at it, the snow-capped peaks, but I prefer to be among them in the wintertime.
My picture that I took is of the planting 7. What you're seeing in the picture is an upside-down triangle with a long tail. As that melts, it becomes a 7. Now, what happens is a folklore in Berlin that talks about the old Indians and when do you plant in Berlin to get away from frost and losing your plants. So if you want to plant, you look for the 7 to be broken. So what will happen to be the top of the 7 will break first, and then the side of the 7. So if you're real adventurous, you'll start with the top and only 1 break. But if you really want to play it safe, you wait for 2 breaks, for the tail to break and the top to break, and then you can plant just your herbs, your vegetables, or whatever you have. Anyway, that's the planting 7 in Berlin, New Hampshire.
The picture I shared today involved geocaching, and basically the sport uses GPS receivers and satellite coordinates to look for Tupperware in the woods. And sometimes they're on tops of the mountains, sometimes they're in parks, sometimes they're at historical places, but usually they bring you someplace neat and interesting you wouldn't have otherwise found.
I moved up here about 10 years ago from southwestern New Hampshire. I love the outdoors, I love hunting, I love fishing, I love snowmobiling, I love cross-country skiing. And as you can see from the picture, right out my front window is a beautiful pond called Diamond Pond, and I can go for miles any direction without ever hitting a tarred road and enjoy myself.
This picture is a picture of the Dead Diamond River, which is located in the Second College Grant, which is a 27,000-acre unincorporated place in Coos County. And our family loves to visit the Grant to recreate and to relax, and it reflects a lot of our family values, such as quiet time and healthy forests and dark skies at night, and it's just a really great place to be.
There are 2 things that I love about Coos County. The first one is the people. The second thing I like are moose. It's all about moose for me. From the moose earrings to the moose potholders, I love everything moose except moose hunting. Moose, moose, moose.
My picture represented a fish that I caught. My family has a camp up in Pittsburgh, which is our most cherished place as a family. The significance of the fish for me was its authenticity, not just environmental wholeness and goodness, but it's just a real feeling. It also is a feeling of fleetingness and an ephemeral feeling, like fish come and go. This fish came from the lake, went to the river.
And the photo that I selected today was a picture of the top of Mount Washington in the winter. When I moved to the Mount Washington Valley 2 years ago, I got the opportunity to share the Mount Washington experience and the New Hampshire experience and the Coos experience with people from all over the world who come to check out what we have here.
when I commute from Bethlehem to Berlin now, I stop in Gorham at the White Mountain Cafe. What I especially love about the White Mountain Cafe is that they have a young entrepreneurial spirit that is definitely the hope and promise of what Coos County has to offer for the future.